Thank you, Carter. We resume.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Commissioners, I recall Mr. Lamin Nyabali. Mr. Chairman, Council Ananjai will lead the witness.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nyabali, yesterday you testified in respect of transactions you authorized at the time that you were the Secretary General of the Office of the President, and you identify certain transactions. Mr. Chairman, we still have more transactions that the witness need to identify. I would just like the witness to identify the transactions so that we can put in the documents in support of those transactions. Mr. Nyabal, I'm going to show you 3 transactions. I would like you to identify those transactions and what the purpose of the transactions were, as well as documents that I would like you to identify whether they have anything to do with the transactions. Can you show the witness the transaction? Mr. Chairman, the transactions are part of CB14 and CB15.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Yes.
These 3 transactions related to procurement for fishing activity by the Ministry of Defense. And for Modunjai, it was meant for the procurement of fishing nets called Yola. And I think for Sehinjai, is filatune. It's also another type of fishing net. And for CA4 Senegal, Madam, they are outboard engines. I recognize them and I did sign them.
Okay. Who authorized the payment for those?
The former president.
Okay. I would like you to go through the other documents, and
Yes.
I would like you to confirm whether they have anything to do with the transactions.
Yes, this is the document back in the transactions, man. And yes, with the minutes, approval minute of the former president, back in the 3 transactions.
Okay. Can I have the documents, please? I'm going to show you another transaction and documents attached to it as well. I would like you to tell the Commission what the transaction was about.
This particular transaction was in relation to the purchase of a dental chair for the Fajara barracks. And the request, as I said, was something that was made from the Ministry of Defense.
The purchase of, I didn't get
dental chair.
Dental chair.
Dental chair, yeah.
For
the Fajara barracks.
Fajara barracks.
Yes,
do they have a...
They have a dental clinic.
They have a dental clinic.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I have the documents? Who authorized the payment?
The former president authorized this particular payment also.
Mr. Nyabali, whilst you were the Secretary General,
yes, ma'am.
Document shows that you had authorized several payments regarding student tuition fees. Yeah. Can you tell this Commission what you know about tuition fees paid for students and what was the system in place in terms of paying, sponsoring students? Can you tell us what you know at the time that you were the Secretary General?
Perhaps I should begin by saying that when I was Secretary General, I had found that there was a scholarship scheme in the Office of the President where individual students were being sponsored. What we would see is request letters coming addressed directly to his as former President of the Republic, and once they are reviewed by him, he would then authorize payment for those that he said he had approved. But most of those payments were also, during my time, were stipends, because I had already, by the time I came, those scholarships were already awarded. And if you go through, you realize that so many of them were living expense, and of course, tuition also. But actually, and I also want to emphasize that as far as I know, I was not part of any decision-making body regarding the award of scholarships. And as far as I know, I was not even in any advisory capacity regarding those scholarships. We were just told to pay for X, Y, Z. And once the details are provided, the invoices are provided, and he approves that these amounts will be paid from this boot, so we were only obliged to comply. That's the way it has been.
Nyabali, you authorized the payments.
No, he would authorize the payments, and they would ask us to pay, either me or some other individuals. You see, sometimes you see 2 people signing for a particular payment to pay to a particular university, or to pay to a particular individual, through the central bank, in those accounts being held at the central bank. But, he approves and authorizes the payment. We only carry others based on what he has asked us to do, because we never gave those scholarships in the first place. He would give the scholarships, and he would say, okay, DPS or PS1 or SC, please pay this much amount from this particular vote. And once those minutes are received, that's the time we would act.
Okay, you mentioned that it's a scheme. Can you tell the Commission how the scheme operates? Do you apply? How does it work?
Well, as far as I know, we used to receive applications from individuals pursuing various programs, whether they are bachelors or masters. So for us, all we would do is forward this thing, because the letters were not meant for us. They were meant for the former president. So we only have to forward the letter directly to him, and he would decide what to do, whether to award or not to award. If he does award, he will say this particular application is endorsed or is approved. Then when they send necessary documentation, he will write again to say, please pay X amount of money from this particular vote. He will even identify the particular vote or particular budgets that should be used for the payments.
Okay. These applications, do you know whether they pass through the Ministry of Education?
No, I have no idea. But I have no idea whether they do pass through the Ministry of Education. I am not aware that they pass through. I'm not aware that they pass through the Ministry of Education. I'm not aware.
Are you saying that the Minister of Education is not aware of this scholarship?
I'm not sure. I'm saying I'm not aware that these applications pass through the Ministry of Education. Honestly, I'm not aware. So we, unless I say, these scholarship things, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm giving you that information just know that because we've been seeing applications sent to the former president, and they would put his name directly. And for us, what we were supposed to do at the time was to receive these things and forward it to him. So he would have to decide whether or not, you know, to give scholarships to any of those individuals. So we have very little say in that.
Are you saying that the applications go straight to the office of the president, without passing through your own office?
No. What I'm saying, when I say office of the president, is the same office. Like if you said the president of the republic, if you address that to him, it has to pass through the normal channel. It will be, everything will be in the files to start with. All incoming mails will be in a particular file called mail folder. And that mail folder will contain all those letters. So what we are doing was to minute those things to him with the complete letter. Then it's left to him to decide whether to award, whether, you know, but the mechanism, what criteria, I have very little idea.
Okay, yesterday you mentioned that at the office of the president, certain individuals play certain roles, and you mentioned that there's a lady responsible for media.
Yes.
In respect of student scholarships, is there any person at the office of the president who was responsible?
No, I don't think for scholarships, I don't think anybody was, it depends on what you mean by responsibility. If it is communication, just to communicate, to minute to the president, just to write a minute to the president, based on what we have received. Yes, you know, individuals were there dealing with that. But all they would do is, when we receive letters, as I said, you know, every letter would go into a mail folder on a daily basis. If it is something to do with application, and it's a letter to the president, somebody will just minute that to the president with the letter attached to him. Okay. So I know that as far as I know, we have very little idea how those awards are paid by him. Because as far as I know, I was never consulted on any award. I was never asked whether or not, you know, a particular award should be supported. I have never been asked those questions.
Okay, you mentioned that you found the system in place when you became Secretary General.
Yes.
Did you bother to check what the procedure was when you took up the role?
As I alluded to yesterday, I could not have done so. You see, because there were instances when, if they see you maybe poking your nose into something that we have not been asked to do, but I can tell you, sometimes you can land yourself in trouble. So if you are not given a particular responsibility and you have to ask questions, it would have been difficult for us to dig out whether what the former president was using, you know. So it has not been an easy situation. So definitely I did not ask him to see whether he has got a criteria in selecting those. I did not ask that question. Ma.
I'm going to show you some documents that are related to certain students, and I would like you to confirm whether you authorize those payments and whether the signature on the documents are your documents.
Okay.
So
okay,
that we can
okay.
put it through.
Among these ones, there were other SGs who also signed. I have only one payment among this particular lot.
I didn't.
I say among these papers, only this particular payment was something I signed. There were other SGs also I saw. So, but this one I signed is my signature.
Yes, but you know the documents that you have there are in respect of student offer letters from universities. So I want you to confirm whether those students,
Yes, I'm saying if you check this document thoroughly, my signature is only here among the lot.
Yes.
And this one particular one is my signature. But the other ones are fine. This other bunch.
Okay, let me show you BB53 and BB60B. Sorry. You just confirm whether those documents are related to the payments in BB53 and BB60. The ones he said.
60.
Mr.
This
Nyabali,
particular,
you
this particular
recognize
correspondence, I do
yes.
recognize this one.
You
yeah,
recognize.
students, yes.
Yes, I want you to check whether the documents are in relation to.
Yeah, these documents are in relation to scholarship payment, the ones, and I've signed them.
Okay.
And these names are also some
Okay.
names that.
Can I have the exhibits and the
Okay,
documents?
okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to apply that the supporting documents in respect of the fishing nets and boats, as well as the student payments, be admitted as exhibits. I have marked the exhibit series which they should form part of, so that it will be easier for the Commission. Can you